going forward to our next segment, because we spent a lot of time on that, and I'm glad we did, because we had to set that one straight, man. Let's talk about some music, and in this segment, we're gonna call it "chicka chicka" mic check. I have to make my own sound effects for right now, but going forward, we might add a little couple here and there. But I'm gonna let you lead this one off as I go grab me another brewski, and we're gonna talk about Will's nominee for the mic check of the week. This is an album I've never heard before, but he told me to check it out, and I've been listening to it, and I found a couple gems on there, and Will, kind of just tell us, how you stumbled upon it, and I'll introduce it.
I'm glad you said gems.
Yeah, there are some. This is Nas King Disease 2. So, Will, I'm going to put this playlist on the screen, and I'm going to go ahead and let you take it away while I go and grab me another Modelo to get us going.
Sponsorship.
Straight up. Sponsor, what up? We down.
So this whole thing started, quick background. I recently kind of moved. I'm about 30 minutes away from my job. And not a terrible commute. A lot of people probably have more stuff to complain about. But I went from being maybe 5 minutes down the road to, 30 minutes, whatever. Awesome for me. I got a newer car and a better little way to listen to my music. And I have Spotify, and I have the membership, the premium package, whatever. Very affordable. Definitely a Spotify sponsorship there. But I started just picking old artists that I used to listen to, and me being a huge fan of hip hop and rap. That's kind of where I started. I do love all kinds of music. I do appreciate a lot of country songs too, whatever. But I just kind of started this thing where I'd pick an artist and I'd go through, Spotify has their whole discography, and I started just listening from their first album all the way up, because I started getting surprised at how many of my old favorite artists are still putting out music. I had this great collection of CDs, and now CDs are just so obsolete or obsolete that I obviously don't buy CDs anymore. I pay for the membership to have it at my fingertips, and it was cool to see, like, I get to a certain point of like, oh yeah, that's the last album I bought. Man, they did a couple more after that. All right, let me check it out. And I would listen to every album from start to finish, never skip a track, pick up where I left off when I got to my destination, whatever. And I went through Snoop Dogg, and it's been a lot. Noriega, obviously Ice Cube, my favorite, and Eminem, but I didn't start with them because I already knew their stuff. I did 50 Cent, and then I did Jay-Z, because Jay-Z's this big controversy now too, right? He's a Satanist, or he's in the Illuminati, all this kind of crazy stuff. I'm like, let me go back to the music. Let me go back to the music and just listen to this.
I'm gonna stick to what I know.
Whatever. And Jay-Z and Nas had that famous beef, whatever. It ended up being obviously a friendly beef, because later on in one of Jay-Z's albums, Nas is a feature on it. And so I started listening to Nas, his discography, and I got into some of his newer stuff that after I had stopped collecting his album. I think the last album I bought was, he did Streets Disciple, and then he did like Hip Hop Is Dead, and then he did that one with Damian Marley Jr., Bob Marley's son, Distant Relatives. I bought that album, and then after that, I didn't buy anymore, just because that's when, the technology was changing, and so I kept going on Spotify. I kept going, and I hit, he had King's Disease, which is a great album, and then I had something after that. I can't remember off the top of my head the order, but I think it was Life Is Good or something like that, and then it was King's Disease 2. And I don't know if it was that particular night when I got off of work and just when I was riding home, it just hit me. But it hit me, and I couldn't keep going forward until I listened to that album again, all the way through. And so that happened, and I was like, damn, I really like this album. And then whatever. That was released in 2021. And then, this year he dropped King's Disease 3, which we were talking earlier. I'm on that now. And that album is just as good as, if not a little bit better. And I brought it up to you because I was like, man, dude, check this album out. It's really good. It's like one of my new little favorite albums right now, because I got so tired of going through my playlist I was making or choosing the playlist that Spotify was creating for me and stuff. This is another reason why I started doing this. And I started rediscovering albums. And, I was like, we were talking about this and planning this. And I was like, hey, on a side note, please check out this album. And you were like, cool. This sounds like we need to talk about. And this is before you even listened to it. And so now I'm going to flip it on you before I get into some of my notes of like why I want to talk about this particular album. What did you think? Have you listened to it all the way through yet?
I've listened to it front to back. And I was jamming it kind of while we were getting stuff prepped this morning. So I've never been really a big Nas fan. It's just
surprising because he said that. It really did.
It's funny because it's stupid. It's a dumb reason. It's because, like, dude, I was such a Tupac head that when him and Tupac had beef, I was automatically nixed Nas. It's like,
which is cool. What the song you have highlighted, he talks about that. Go ahead.
Right, exactly. So trust me, don't think that I don't pay attention to every little word or detail or anything. Not even just the Nas or Tupac stuff. Everybody's stuff. Like, what do you say? You want to investigate it and everything. But but it's not like I don't think there's any Nas songs that are banging. Trust me, he's got his bangers. Like, If I Ruled the World, I think when that's came around, man. Yeah, it's a classic. But even when he Nas is like that is a classic. I had a buddy in high school. Yeah, I had a buddy in high school that was a big Nas fan. We'd ride around and jam Nas. And there's that other Nas song on his first album. I forgot what the name of it, but it's got like, God dang, I can't remember the name of it, but it's such a classic song, and it's something that I jam. And it's a B-side track. It ain't no radio song, but
Get Down.
What's that?
Get Down.
I don't know. It's basically just like a drum track over like a sample. That's like,
I think you're talking about Get Down. It's like the first track of God's Son.
No, I don't. It ain't that one. But I'll show it to you. But I liked it because it's definitely a different vibe. They got the Death Row East. So let me scroll through some of the tracks that I really like, and then we'll jam for just a second. I'll just kind of pick a little random spot in it just because I want to hear all of the actual sounds.
Right. So like his storytelling skills is so. Always drunk. Like, that's why. Back in the day, you were Tupac. I was Biggie because I just loved the storytelling.
Oh, trust me. I know 100%. And as a kid, you're like, man, he likes Biggie. Like, that's weird. Like, but at the same time,
I'm like Ice Cube, but Biggie over Tupac. You're like, what?
Yeah, but it's like at the time, it's like you learn as I'm growing up, kind of like the same way I learned with Kobe. I hated Kobe because he killed the Rockets all the time. He done it in front of my face, but you respect the game. So if you're and I think that's lost in today's game. It's like, of course, I don't like this team. Of course, I don't like this rapper or whatever, but respect the game. Just like Biggie. Like, you could look at P. Diddy if you're on the I'm a Tupac guy. Okay. You look at P. Diddy, oh man, you could say all this stuff about him. But you look at Biggie and you go, he's a good, respect the game, right? Because you even say lyrically, like Biggie was more like freestylish, more on a better rapper than Tupac was. But if you look like at Tupac, in my opinion, his poetry, the way that the things he would talk about and
He
how
would
he
tell
was more
stories too.
versatile. Yeah, he definitely would tell stories. But he was also versatile, and I could tell stories that touch your heart. I could tell stories that make you sad. I could tell
I
stories
get you
that make
angry.
you. I can get you pissed. I could diss you and everybody and say some nasty stuff.
You'll still walk away shaking my hand.
Right, and so like Biggie was more like lyricist to me in like a well, you would be like a Riddler way type. You got to kind of figure it out. But it's not like I didn't respect the game. So when Nas, it's like, yes, I respected some of his songs as we were younger. But when Pac and him had his beef, and I'm listening to Pac in interviews talking about it, yeah, I'm like, man, not really a Nas guy. But it's not like I don't go back and go, oh, I'm taking all the Nas songs off my playlist. No. I mean, the ones that are good will make it. It's just I'm not going to go out like you and go, no, I'm not. Don't say, I'm not going to say that, because I've done exactly what you're doing, going and listening to albums, and I'm going and I'm like, but this is how I did it, cuz I went and I'm like, I want to go back to 1989 and I want to go to billboard.com. What were the hottest albums of that year? I want to listen to every song on that album. Okay, boom, 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 boom. And I would make playlist off of like the years, right?
Yeah.
And then from the playlist, I would also do this. Like, I want a No Limit playlist. Just greatest No Limit songs that I like. Let me pull that. Biggie, let me pull that. All these other songs and artists that I never messed with. Like you said, we got technology now. I can listen to any album I want at any time. If you would have told me that as a kid, I would have been like, what? That's the future? I ain't got nothing to worry about.
And digitally be up to date when they release their shit. You're like, oh. Spotify
exactly. Drop on a dime. They're dropping on a dime.
Yeah, we'll tell you like, hey, you've been listening to this artist. They just dropped a new album. Check it out, And yeah, if we had that when we were kids, bro, I'd probably be fat because I probably wouldn't have been outside, exercising as much, or I would have had the greatest, boombox going next to the, basketball court because of, whatever. But yeah, man, like, and I love making playlists like that. I just wanted to dissect, instead of like going like songs, I wanted to dissect the artist and then discover the songs within that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so to continue this along, one of my favorite things about this album was I loved how it kind of had, I don't want to say like the cliche like old school feel, right? I mean, like
some of the beats did, like Death Row East, bro. That's why I like the beat. It's like I'm not the guy that likes the hi hat. That's like,
we're
the new age hi hat. I'm not the guy that likes all the new age like type trap rap. But that Death Row East, there's Rare. I feel like has another one. Lauryn Hill has an old school type beat. You know what I mean?
I'm getting to that because what I mean is like, it was this mix of like old school.
Definitely a mix.
Like when we were growing up, what was considered old school mixed with like what the generation now would consider old school, which is like what we grew up with, and then a mix of especially that song track 3, 40 side, that had this like kind of new age
oh yeah
trap music. Not even trap music, but like that techno.
Let's play, because there's a definite,
and the way he flows it, like I always appreciated. I think we talked about this off camera. I appreciated how, you take a beat, and I'm all about the flow and the lyrics, and the way he wrote it was just like he wrote.
How you gonna ride the wave? How you gonna ride the wave? That's the
Give
whole
him a
thing,
small,
bro.
give him a small snippet.
Yeah, it's like how you gonna ride the wave. That's what every beat from writing songs. You hear a beat and you go, okay. How you gonna ride it? But then that's the best thing about recording with other people is like when you're with your buddies and you respect them and you're with like you and me when we record. Like I told you before, I'm like, how am I gonna ride it? But then it's like so cool to see. I don't even want to know until we record how you wrote it. Oh, that's how he wrote it. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, okay. I want to see how this goes out. But let's play a little snippet. Let me jump ahead.
Integrity matters the most. I get a
Yeah,
hope.
that hi-hat like that.
Something to open your mind.
You see what I'm saying?
Instead of going
Yeah.
out
No, hold on. Let's let it build. Let's let it build.
Yeah, I like the way it builds. The way it builds,
Because you can definitely tell from the beginning, though.
It's a perfect example of the way it builds.
It's a new
and how he hits it.
OG talk. Project halls.
The pauses.
Side where niggas seen it all.
The
I
pauses.
niggas a slide. I'd rather show them
Right,
the ropes. Integrity matters the most. I get a hood hope.
That's what rap has kind of become now. And it's cool that, like,
so much positive.
You know what I'm saying? He did that, you know? And then another track, I love the features on this album. Nas, like, has made a career out of having a lot of albums without a whole lot of features, you know? And these are not his words, but I always kind of felt like maybe he was just kind of picky about, you know, his features and whatnot. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, if you look at it, yeah, he's had mad features for sure. But he's never, like, kind of built his albums around that. And I'm not saying a lot of artists have or do, but you just kind of look at it at surface value, like, you kind of dissect it, like, he's kind of
you're not gonna get from me. You're not gonna get as much respect as you're like. Damn, the dude only had 2 features and his shit goes hard compared to someone like but his song has a feature every song. Like to me, that you lose a little bit of credibility. Not saying respect, but credibility is like bro. But you put Jay-Z on there. You put this dude on there. You didn't kill it yourself, and you got like there's guys like Shine and Nas and other guys that you go. Well, you got to tip the hat because they ain't just putting everybody and their mom on their albums trying to sell. They're like, no,
like some No Limit shit. Yeah.
right, and not even No Limit. Like you have guys that have like it's a different way to approach the game, but at the same time,
release the next album for that guy, you know, like.
Right, but it used to be a thing where it's like every album is like, okay, you got to have this guy,
you gotta have this guy,
you got to have this guy, this guy. You know what I mean? And it's just like half the album is other people, and you're like, bro, I brought this album to really hear you, and you didn't really give me all that. So, I mean, you definitely gain credibility from me whenever the features are lessened. But like you said,
well, when you're selective about it,
when you're selective and it's quality over quantity, and I hope you're getting to the elephant in the room, the number 9 track that I
before
really like.
I get there, I gotta give honorable mentions to that Eminem track, that EPMD2,
right?
Because mind you, this is 2021. Eminem, Ice Cube, my 2 favorite artists. I listen to them all the time. In between doing stuff like this, you know that. Just for context for anybody who's listening. So you follow Eminem's career. Like this is like after he dropped. You know, okay, when he did what was that Boo Boo album he dropped? That I bought you and all the cousins for Christmas. The one
Keep talking.
It was after Recovery. It was it's honestly like as a fan, it's not one of my favorite albums. There's some good tracks, but yeah, it's not one of my favorite albums. But I had that Beyonce song, Walk on Water. Anyway, after that, then he did Kamikaze. And, just kept getting harder and harder and harder. Anyway, I love that song with Nas and Eminem. that track 4. They both kill it. The beat's great. It's cool to see them collabo. Fun fact note, if you didn't know, on the Godson album, Eminem produced a beat for Nas. I think it was called The Cross or Cross. But it was around like the 8 Mile days. Eminem was doing Eminem show. He was producing a lot of his own tracks. He made that beat for Nas. So it's cool that they've collaborated before, but never like both on the mic. So that was kind of tight. But yeah, The Elephant in the Room, Nobody, track 9. Probably like the best song on the album. I was telling you earlier, if you had a bad day at work or a great day at work, if you whatever mood you're in, you put that track on and it puts you in a mood, and it's a pleasant mood, and it's very soulful. It's very, very poetic by both artists, and the artist, Miss Lauryn Hill. I like how her name is now Miss Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
For years, I've said Lauryn Hill is one of the best female lyricists there's ever been, as far as hip hop and rap is concerned. I'm not obviously talking about, songwriters, singers like Whitney Houston and whatnot. I'm talking about like our genre, like hip hop and whatnot. Lauryn Hill, you have the greats, Queen Latifah, and you have Yo-Yo, and you have so many, the Brat, like, growing up, there were so many, but Lauryn Hill, like, the woman could sing and flow on the mic better than, like, half the boys and girls. You know what I mean? Like, she's a queen.
She's like, to me, it's like that. She's like the Oracle, dude, in the Matrix. Like, she's like the. Like, if you respect lyrics and you're hip hop and you're not like, it's one thing to be like, I'm in the hip hop culture. I wear the hats. I've sagged my pants and da da da. No.
We're talking about hip hop.
We're talking about hip hop music. Lauryn Hill is a royalty. She is like
royalty, bro.
She is like, you know what I'm saying? So when I saw, holy shit, so I'm just in the car driving and I see Lauryn Hill go across the thing. I'm like, what? Like, this is automatic. I'm not even talking about just me looking at the featuring Lauryn Hill and Nas. I'm like, hold on, he got Lauryn Hill? Oh, it's automatic classic. Like, I don't even have to hear this.
So I'm so glad you said that. When I first heard it, remember I told you I had to go back and listen to it back to back. When I first heard the whole album, heard that song the first time, man, like, I'm listening to it, I'm jamming, I'm driving, I hear it, right? And I hear this woman come on the mic and she wrecks it, and I'm just like, damn. But
what's the first thing you do, though? What's the first thing you do after her verse goes?
Okay, so like the way
what I do, I go, hold on, let me bring that back. Whoop, that's what I do. I was like, automatically, like, hold on, I wasn't paying attention. I should have paid attention.
Do that. I was
bring that right back.
When I first heard it, actually both first times I heard it, I was driving. But
but when you told me and we talked and I got off the phone with you and I'm driving and I get halfway through a verse and I look down and it says Lauryn Hill going across your little thing. I go, oh, whoa, okay, and I'm like, hold on. She don't get done with the verse. I'm like, okay, bring the whole thing back. Hold on, let me sing. It's like, okay, let's start the movie over. I got my popcorn and everything. Now I'm ready. I'm in front of the screen. I didn't know it was going to get serious like
the
this.
The way my display works on my, my car or whatever. My car didn't come with. It's a 2008, whatever. So right. I had to buy, my shit, right? Best Buy, great deal, whatever. Nice display screen, cool. I can see mostly anything, but it doesn't do the scroll thing. Okay. So all I could see, and I don't have my, my phone, I'm driving. So like my phone is whatever.
Yeah.
I'm old school. I don't text and talk or whatever. Like, so my phone is in my pocket or something. It's away. So all my display said was nobody, and it said featuring, and I saw Miss, and it had like LAU. That's all I could see. And so that's the first time I heard it. And then so like the next time, like I said, I had to rewind the whole album. So next time it comes up, that song comes on again, and same display, and I'm like, who is this? She's fucking killing it. And I go against my rules that I just said. I'm like, I go for my phone, and I just kind of look. I'm like, Miss Lauryn Hill. I'm like, I fucking knew it. Now, mind you, being vigilant, I should have known it because at the end of the song, like he says, Miss Hill, blah, 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 whatever. But the Miss Hill thing was kind of throwing me off. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, so she's Miss Lauryn Hill now. Respect, Queen. I got you,
Yeah.
Best track on the album. Great. I wanted to bring up something about that track that was so tight to me. And I know, we're not trying to make this super lengthy. But the second verse, he's flowing it, he's killing it, And it starts off, he's like, my dog bought a plane, said, let's go to Paris. That's where baguettes are from. French bread that's long and narrow. I like the other definition, rectangular carrots. The concept of this song is rather hysteric. And I was like, the way he flowed was so sick, but the way that word highlighted, I'm going to be honest with you. You ever read a book and, you're reading a book and you really want to know the book? Like I like reading. So, when I read a book and I see a word that I don't really know, or I'll go look it up. I like to learn the words. The way that man hit that word, I've never had a rap song cap me so much to where I need to go understand what that word is.
Right.
Because I kind of understood it in the context, but I felt like I would get the punchline and meaning behind it better if I actually really knew what the word meant, right?
Most definitely.
And what was cool, the word means, in case you don't know, do you know what the word means? I didn't know.
What?
Hysteric.
Hysteric.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Esoteric. I'm sorry. I'm mispronouncing it.
Esoteric. Go ahead.
Esoteric. 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 I'm so sorry I was mispronouncing that word. I butchered Nas's lyrics, so please forgive me on that. Go listen to the song. But it means intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number of people with a gotta read my handwriting, with specialized knowledge or interest. And I thought that was so cool, because the line is the concept of the song is rather esoteric. Basically, it's proven what we're talking about. It's if you don't get it, if you're not feeling it, you're not going to get it. You're not part of that small number of people.
Right. This is meant for,
you know what I mean?
Certain, yeah.
And
this is meant for those, this is highbrow type shit.
Dude, this is, I hope we continue to highlight a song or album as we go on, because I like doing that. This is, these kind of things fly over people's head, and don't get me wrong.
Trust me, I like to do that all the time. I'll tell Alyssa, we'll be in the car and be like, hold on, did you just hear what they just said? And she'll be talking about something. I'll go, hold on. She just said, did, and then she's just but I don't care if she doesn't get it 100%. And it's just, I have to let them know right then and there, dude, you just heard something incredible. That's crazy. And then sometimes I'll just say random lyrics like that out loud that I'm just and she's like, what'd you say? And I'm like, da. She's like, what? and I'm like, oh no, it's just from a song. I'm just messing with you. But
I got another.
Feel you.
I got another bar for you, real quick, before we end this.
Come
on. Going back to Puff Daddy, you were talking about that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Puff Daddy is well known. I mean, there's lots of our favorite artists that have been, they write their own stuff and have done tracks that have been ghostwritten for them.
Oh yeah, Puff Daddy's always getting.
You want to respect the game, and you were talking about Puff Daddy earlier with the whole Biggie thing. I love, Bad Boys for Life. Like, we ain't going nowhere. That song, we ain't going.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rise of, the Puff Daddy saga or whatever, that album, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
P. Diddy and the Fam, who know would do it better. He has that one lyric where it's like, you're now rocking with the best. Don't worry if I write rhymes. I write checks.
Yeah.
And that's a line I say randomly at work sometimes. It's like, don't worry about, don't like, like, don't worry about who did this or where this came from or whose idea was that. Like, we're gonna make some money. Like, just go with it. Sorry, I had to throw that one out there.
Who wrote that verse for P. Diddy? Do you know?
Honestly, I don't know. I have the CD. I could go through and look, but I don't think the CD covers give credit to the actual ghostwriters. Actually, it will tell you who wrote the song or song. Like, there is credit in there. I could dig through and find it, but technology now is probably faster.
It says Black Rob, but
Black Rob was on the song.
Yeah,
you could have wrote it for him.
We'll say. We'll see. Mark Curry as well.
Puff Daddy could have wrote that himself, but just referring to other tracks that were written for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. I mean, hell, Jay-Z wrote still.
Dude, I literally was just about to bring that up, cuz that was on the tip of my tongue. I was gonna say, y'all know me, to the same OG, but I've been low key. That's all Jigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what another
wrote
thing,
the hook
bro,
for
like,
Snoop Dogg and everything.
That's another thing that we need to highlight going forward is like, hey, we need to bring these ghosts up, like these ghost writers up, bro. I'm not talking about the paranormal stuff we're gonna get into later, but these ghost writers and all this, like, that's another little
one of the
spotlight
best ghost writers
when we
of
do
all time.
mic checks.
One of the best ghost writers of all time, Mad Skills. Okay. Saw him in person in concert. That's another story for another day, but I like, yeah. He actually had a song called Ghost Rider where he was like talking about it. Performed it live in front of me, bro. One of the best concerts it was. I saw Pharrell. I saw Mad Skills. Tyler Kweli was there.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Heck yeah, mic check. That's a segment we're going to bring each and every time. That was a cool album, though, dude. I do appreciate you pointing that one out. And like I said, there's a couple other good tracks on there. I like My Bible. I like Nas is Good. I like...
Dude, Brunch on Sundays?
Brunch on Sundays is different. It's a different type of vibe, but it's kind of cool what he's talking about. And like I said,
I'm telling you, like, if you got a
Moments is good too. I like Moments as well,
bro. I'm telling you, if you got a little road trip, if you got a little road trip planned in front of you, and you tired of creating playlists or something, and you want to just link a bunch of albums together, put this one on your list. It's like you can play it start to finish, and it's a great riding music type. Man, it's great. And
no, you're right.
Because we said this. Check out the new one, King's Disease 3. I'm telling you, it's just as good.
Okay.
We can talk about that one.
Yeah, we'll bring that up in a future episode. We'll bring that up in a future episode for sure, because
we'll recap it later on. Check it out for sure. That's just tight.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Keep your eye on Nas, because he's only getting better as it goes. That's what I've learned from it.
Yeah. So that's mic check, baby. No, not every artist can say that, and a lot of our artists, unfortunately, aren't recording or can't record anymore. So it's cool to see the progression, and also, like, you pick it up and you go, was, like I picked it up and like, okay, it's a Nas album, and then you start listening and you're like, man, I like this, I like that. It's a whole nother avenue. And if you like music, you're gonna find something you like on this CD. That's 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
So